Hi, hello, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be about getting out of your lazy era and jumping into your productivity era and all the things that I do and all the things that help me to stay on top of everything. And so if you're ready to learn how to get your life together, then let's jump into it. Okay, I want to start off by addressing the elephant in the room and just say that no, I don't think you're lazy, and you shouldn't think you're lazy either. Trust me, there's so much more going on than you thinking that you're lazy, and that is that you have no structure, you have no game plan, you have no way of knowing what to do and how to get started in order to really get the momentum that you need to get your life together and to be productive. So when I say let's get out of your lazy era, I mean let's get out of that not knowing what to do, totally confused era so that we can be way more productive, achieve our goals, achieve our dreams, and just feel like we got it all together. Even if we don't all the time, we want to kind of feel like we have what we need to have to make sure that we can try and get it all together. Because trust me, I'm a mama. And I know that things don't always go as planned, but we can at least try to help it so that it's not so chaotic.
What you doing today, girl?
Sometimes my business ain't your business.
Oh, okay.
So don't be asking me that what I'm doing. Could I have my business to myself sometime?
Productivity is not everything. I don't believe that you're lazy because you're not productive. I don't believe that your self-worth has anything to do with your productivity. So let's just stop right there and say, when I talk about productivity in this video, I'm mostly talking about getting things done because you need to, getting things done because you want to, not because you have to. And so let's just start right there and say you're not less than if you feel like you've been lazy, if you feel like you've not been doing what you need to be doing or whatever it might be. Been there, done that. I still go there and I still got to pull myself out of that. So we're all one and the same. And I just want to make that clear before we even go any further. Okay, so we're going to start with step one, which is we need a plan, right? We've been feeling like we don't have it together at all, and we just need a plan to kind of get out of there. What do we need to do? What do we need to focus on? What's our plan? We have to start with that first. And the first thing that I want to say is that if you don't have a plan, it's probably because you don't have a planner or you're not using it. My number one tip is you need to start or at least try to use some sort of planner, something to organize your day, something where you know what's happening today, tomorrow, even next week, even next month, because that helps for you to understand where your energy needs to go and how it needs to be compartmentalized so that you don't, one, burn out, and two, don't give energy where it needs to be given. So when it comes to planning, honestly, use any planner that gets the job done. Anything that you feel comfortable with. If you already have one, we'll talk about how to use it in a more productive way so that you can get more done. And if you don't have one, honestly, you don't even have to start with one. Just get out a piece of paper so that we can start writing down our plan. So where do we start? We have our planner, we have our piece of paper, whatever it might be. We are going to start one with writing down our commitments. We need to figure out what it is that we have to do in our life so that we know how much energy needs to be put into those things and how much energy we have to do other things. Once we know that I need to take my daughter to dance class on Thursdays, and I need to take her to gymnastics on Fridays, and on Saturdays is this, and on Wednesdays we do this. These are all commitments that we have to do. I know that in between those things is where I can plan all of the things that I feel like I haven't been getting done, whether it be my goals, whether something like going to the gym or reading, or whether it be loading the dishwasher, all of those things that are making us feel lazy because we're not doing them. We need to find a place to do them. And so we need to write down all of our commitments in our planner, and that's how we get started. All right, so tip number 2 is routines. We need to create some dependable routines. And when it comes to routines, we can start off really, really small, really, really simple. It can be a 5-minute routine that then turns into a 10-minute routine and then a 30-minute routine. Whatever it is, the reason why we feel lazy is because we have absolutely no structure in our day. We feel like we're kind of just walking around, not sure what to do. I know what that feels like. I still sometimes get that if I don't plan my routines accordingly. And so we can kind of feel like we're just floating within our day. And then by the time the day is over, it's like what did we actually do? And that's fine on days that you want to rest, but on days where you need to get things done, you need to have some type of routine in place. Everybody thrives more on routines. And I know that a lot of people will say, I don't want to have a routine because I don't want to feel like I am set in stone to this thing. That's not the case. Routines will actually free you up and set you free because you know that this is when I get this done, and then I can move on to whatever I want to do in all of this free time. And it's a beautiful thing. It's dependable, it's predictable, it's lovely. So I'm going to give you an example. I still have a very fluid morning routine. There's things that I do specifically when I wake up: get my daughter ready for school, change my son, take her to school, come back home. And that's where it gets kind of fluid. And it's like, well, we can do this or we can do that. But I definitely have a few things that I can do. So let's say you have a very non-dependable routine. It's very flexible. You don't know what's going to happen on any given day, especially when you have children. Write down a list of a few things that you feel like you can do, or that you may do, or that may come up. And then you can choose those routines within that. I should say, you choose to do those things within that routine. For example, when I get home, I may choose to load the dishwasher. That could be something that I choose to do out of my list of 5 things. And that's how you easily get a morning routine going, because eventually you just start doing it over and over and over again, and it really just does become second nature. Another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to routines is that I have a really great night routine. Once I come upstairs and I get my kids' stuff ready for bed and I get my daughter's clothes ready for the morning, then I know that it's time to jump in the shower. After I jump in the shower, I come out and I wash my face and I do my whole skincare routine and I brush my teeth. And then after that, I know it's time to lay down, rest, read a book. It's a very simple nighttime routine, but it helps me get everything that I need to get done. My hygiene, I'm getting some reading in, I'm taking care of my children. So these routines don't have to be crazy. I know we see a lot of crazy routines online, but make a realistic one, and I promise you that it will help. So, from what I've learned from Atomic Habits, the book, which is great, you can start by habit stacking. So, just start by kind of creating one habit that you're going to do, such as taking a shower every night is the easy one, and then add another habit onto that for like a week. For example, taking a shower every night. Add on the habit of washing your face every night. And then after a week, add on another habit, such as um, I don't know, maybe reading a book every night. And eventually you have your routine made. So, if you want to kind of bring that all together and help yourself more, try to time block those things in your planner. So, once you do have your planner, you can time block. And if you don't know what that is, that's totally fine. Essentially, it's assigning a time to when you're going to do these things. So, if you want to start your nightly routine at, I don't know, 8 p.m., then have your time blocked out at 8 p.m. until you go to sleep to do that nighttime routine. And that'll keep you really, really structured. So, tip number 3 is you're going to want to set achievable, attainable, realistic goals. Now, if you are somebody who feels like they're just not doing a whole lot in their life right now, they're not achieving their goals, it could be because you have these crazy unrealistic goals. I want you to tone that down a little bit, because if we have something totally insane like that has maybe 10 steps to your goal, for example, I'm just going to give you the example of writing a book. If you feel like you want to write a book, but there's so many little steps in between that, such as maybe decide on a title, decide on your chapters titles, decide on whatever it might be. They need to be smaller and attainable so that we can stay motivated to achieve our goals. And so again, if you're feeling unmotivated or lazy or whatever it might be, then you need to start really breaking down your goals into much smaller steps so that they're easily attainable, and then you'll get that momentum. Now, this entire video, I cannot say how important momentum is. Momentum is everything. And I'll give you an example. When I first started wanting to get back into working out in July, the end of June, beginning of July, it's because I have a trip coming up soon and I wanted to lose some weight. And so I knew that, man, I really don't want to go to the gym. That's the last thing I want to do, is go to the gym, you guys. Like, I like the feeling of exercise after. I like the idea of being there and exercising, but thinking about going is a no-go for me. And so I was like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm dragging my feet. I think I did 10 minutes at the gym. 10 minutes, and I wanted to give up at 5. And so I was like, whatever, fine. Next time I went, same thing. It was terrible. Next time I went, I think it went up to like 20 minutes, which is great. Next time I went, it was like, let's push for 30 minutes, right? And this was like weeks and days in between. And then finally, now when I go to the gym, sometimes I don't even take a watch or anything like that because I just know what I have to do. And I'm up to like 45 minutes already of being at the gym and it feeling fine. Like I have to get home to my family, so I have to go home. It feels fine. But the point is, when you first start doing something, you're going to not want to do it. You're not going to just be motivated to do it necessarily. You need to take the first steps so you can gain momentum. And I guess momentum really is like the next tip for you, which I think tip 4 is just start. Tip 4, just start, gain momentum, and go from there. I promise you, you just need to take a little step day by day. Now, moving your body can actually help with like your mental clarity. It can help with your productivity. It can help with your energy levels. And so I'm not saying go out there and run a marathon or anything like that, but I'm saying start walking a little bit, turn on a YouTube, like 10 minutes exercise at home and just kind of move your body a little bit. I promise you, once you start getting like those little creaks and crannies moving, you're going to feel so much better. You're not going to want to lay down all the time. You're going to want to be moving. For me, if I sit down, I have a habit of if I sit down, I get so tired that I want to go to sleep, and that's just a whole nother story. But the idea is to keep moving and rest when you need to rest. When you want to be moving, move. When you want to rest, rest. And so I suggest just moving your body, 10-minute walk, a 10-minute walk in place, a 10-minute exercise on YouTube, and you're going to start to see that you do have more energy. The last tip that I'm going to give you, and it's kind of what I've already just talked about, is just to stop waiting for motivation. I promise you it's not going to come. I think the motivation that I had to start working out was totally extrinsic, which is like outside. Extrinsic means everything motivated for you is not coming within, but outside. Like I was like, I need to wear a bathing suit. I need to go and exercise. And so I was very much extrinsically motivated. But as I've done it and I've started to feel better and I've started to like it, it's a very intrinsic. And I can tell you that the little steps matter. You're not going to want to do it like right now as I'm filming this video at like 6:40 at night. I don't want to go to the gym and I'm tired. But at the same time, what I tell myself is if I go and even if I just walk for 10 minutes on the treadmill, I'm going to feel so much better. And at least I did it. Right. And so I am going to go. However, when I get there, I end up doing way more. I end up doing my whole arm regimen and some abs and whatever it is. And sometimes I walk way more than 10 minutes. And so stop waiting for motivation. It's not showing up anytime soon. It's a feeling, and we need to not go off of our feelings all the time. And that's the best tip that I can give for you if you clicked on this video because you feel like you're in your lazy era and you want to get out of that and you want to be more productive. Absolutely do that. And the last tip that I want to give you, and just to kind of end this on this note and just to kind of nail this in, is it's totally fine if all you do is lay down some days and you just kind of are couch ridden some days. There's some days, especially when Aunt Flo, sorry, TMI, decides to visit. Sorry. But the 2 weeks before that, I am exhausted. And so I realize that now. And I realize that my body needs more attention. And so there's going to be times when you're more productive. There's going to be times when you feel like you're lazy. And that's totally fine. But at least if we have the tips and we know what we need to do to mitigate that, right? And essentially to stop it in its tracks and just start getting on a new path, then we can do that. And so I hope that this video helped you. I hope that you have some tools moving forward. As I end this video, the first thing that I want to say is just take that first step in whatever it is and then just add on from there. That would be like this overall overarching theme to this video. And yeah, I hope it helped and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.